Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. What's up guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert to your own research. Today I'm just going to review Bitcoin and ETH, I think. Let's get to it. It's been a bit since I've done a video. I generally enjoy doing videos, but I don't know, I haven't had time and just been distracted. But these are really helpful for me as well. So let's take a look at BTC USD on the weekly. It's kind of choppy price action. I don't really see a whole lot that you can really get from the weekly chart. I mean, to me, like, there's no real clear trend. To me, it looks very similar price action actually to March 2021, where it's just chopping around. Not really, you can't really tell what's going on. And you see a lot of volatility as well after a big run. So what I mean by after a big run, you know, you saw this move from 10 to 60K, chop, 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 dump to 30, and then another move up. Am I saying that that's going to happen again? I don't know. I mean, it's certainly possible. It would mimic a lot of this price action back in March and April 21, where you see this consolidation followed by like a big dip, nuke down to like 43K or whatever, chop, 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 chop until like winter and then resume the pump. The price action would look pretty similar to, in my opinion, like this 2021 price action, where you saw that dump, consolidation for a few months and then go up. I'm not saying that's really going to happen necessarily. Like, the regime has changed. Excuse me one second. The ETF has changed things. So in my opinion, it gives a little bit more reassurance that this could just be chopping around consolidation and then we go up in Q4. That's not to say that, you know, we're not going to have like some big moves, and that like 50 to 75K is just the trading range that we're in. You know, like, I expect price to mostly stay within this range for a bit. I guess what I'm saying is that there's two real ways to continue for Bitcoin, in my opinion. Number one is that we just continue to chop around from 50K all the way up to like 70K. There's going to be deviations in between each side of the range here, but overall we're not going to see like a huge move until, I don't know, whenever, and then we break out. That's one possibility. And you know, this is not necessarily accurate with regards to the dates either. Like, I don't necessarily think that we'll like die in, you know, December of 2024 or whatever. This is one possibility, is that we chop around from 50, 70K and then we go up. Another possibility, of course, to the downside is we lose this range, go to like 45K, chop around here for a while, similar to this kind of May, June, July kind of price action back in 2021, and then we eventually go up. That's another possibility. Not really sure as of right now. Like, the weekly chart, as I said, isn't really super clear to me. Let's take a look at it on the daily. So I had a good, interesting discussion today on Twitter about, like, you know, market structure and, like, you know, didn't we already break market structure before? So for me, one thing that really stuck with me was when Crypto Cred said that like highs and lows really stick out to you on the chart. And when you look at it on the daily, in my opinion, you can actually really see it too. You can see like this was a high, this was a low, like this is a high, this was a low. And, you know, in clear trending markets, you see these highs and lows, and they're not really super frequent either. Here's another high that was set here too, in my opinion, and here's another low. So, like, when you look at these highs and lows, they really paint a clear picture. And this is also something you can see in the bull market as well. Like, you know, back in 21, again, high, low, high, low. Like, they really are evident on the chart, in my opinion. Whereas you can say that there's these other smaller highs and lows that you can also see on the chart. And these are market structure breaks on lower time frames. So if you go down to the 1 hour, 4 hour, you're going to see all this type of market structure breaks on all types of slower time frames. But as we all know, higher time frames always prevail over low time frames in terms of like confluence and just seeing like where levels are respected. And I was making the argument that you can see that we potentially already hit like a bearish market structure back in kind of like this time period of like this May to May period where we have like kind of these lows that were set high and low. So high, low, high, low, high, low, high. What I'm showing here is that we have hit a lower low and a lower high. And when you see a lower low and a lower high, that also means a bearish market structure, which means that the trend is now bearish on the daily. Now, there are several things that could change this. Number one, we could hit a higher low, in which case, say it chops around 60K, and this is like the new low that forms. At that point, we're just going to hit some sort of like weird ranging like structure like that. It's just like not very sure what's happening. Like nobody's going to know what happens. Another possibility, in my opinion, is you hit something like just consolidation here, very short, and then we continue higher. This was just a short blip on the radar. This wasn't a significant high that was set. It was similar to something like this period here where price takes a pause and then continues up. Entirely possible. And you see that all the time too. You see price just chill out for a sec, have some volatility, kind of like back in this structure back in December of 23, price chopping around here and then, higher high and lower low. This was when I was shitting myself during January 24 because I thought that we broke market structure. But again, this could just be a blip on the radar. This could just be what we're seeing like similar to March right now. Maybe that's what's going to happen. And we just continue higher. We test the 70K level and all is dandy. Entirely possible as well. But I just want to make the observation that it is possible that we have hit a lower high and price is going to, have some shitty bounces, but then break down lower. Don't think that's really going to happen. I'm still cautiously optimistic. I still believe that Bitcoin is still okay. Still believe that the overall macro environment is good. It is an election year. We do have potential rate cuts coming. I think that things look pretty good all around, but S&P is nuking and I think we're just gonna have to see what happens, I guess, with regards to macro. But all in all, I do believe that there are a few possibilities. The next few days are really interesting. Either number one, we hit this current supplies or this current demand zone here, price bounces, and then we're just it's just taking a pause, like I said before, similar to like early March of 24. That's one bullish possibility. Another bullish possibility would be that we form some sort of test around like 58, 59K or whatever, and then we're still at a higher low. That would also be nice. There's still a lot of hope left for me. Like, even though I was saying, yeah, maybe we hit a bearish market structure at this point, I don't, it's just a question. It's not necessarily a quote unquote fact personally. And I don't necessarily believe that this is like a confirmed bear market. But I will say that it's scary that we did lose those recent lows. Um, from a TA standpoint, you never want to see like the lower low. Now, you can make the argument, oh, it was just a quick deviation. You see this all the time, like, on lower time frames where you see like price, like, jolt below key levels and then rebound up. Totally agree with you on that. Like, and that's what happened here. There was like this key low back at 56K. Price blitzed below it and then quickly reclaimed it and now went higher. So again, I don't necessarily think this is confirmed bear, but it's just something to think about. All in all, like when you take a look at these levels and you take a look at the overall context of this chart, I actually like this chart as well, where you're really just still in the same trading range over since we've seen in March. It's still the same trading range. Price is still between this 56K level and 73K level, 75K level, whatever. And there's no real clarity. Like, again, you can say, oh, like, market structure broken, now it's lower high. But in the grand scheme of things, when you zoom out and you see that price is just within the same trading range, you'll see that there's really not much clarity that you can really have. And trust me, I've actually seen, there's a lot of traders here that really don't have any good idea. And the reason also is because we are at the EQ of the entire range. And this is generally, historically speaking, not a good place to trade at. There's just so much confusion around this area that, we don't know if price is going to keep going higher up to 70K. We don't know if price is going to dip lower down to the 50Ks again. Don't really know. There's just a lot of confusion. So I don't know. I think right now it's probably best just for you to like go ahead and just chill out, be patient, and wait for things to kind of like just calm down a bit, and then see what Bitcoin does, because the next few days should be pretty interesting, in my opinion. Anyways, that's Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum has not performed great. ETH ETF yesterday or the day before, I can't remember exactly, but really not. The price hasn't really shown much. I think it's best to treat this ETH ETF just basically as like a good long-term thing, which it totally is. Like, inflows are going to be much higher eventually. It's going to be like really strong. But in the short term, again, don't really know what's really to think about it. Especially from the TA side, the 200-day EMA is getting tested again. You saw that area get tested back in July, and now it's getting tested once again. But I don't really see too much clarity in this chart, if I'm being honest with you. Similar to the Bitcoin chart, price is just within the same type of trading range here. I do think that ETH has really underperformed Bitcoin, and you can see that also in the ETH BTC chart. Like, look at this thing; it just looks terrible. Everyone was hoping that maybe ETH BTC was going to have a rally with the ETH ETF, but I don't personally see that happening. And you can see that in the chart here too, where like if you just zoom out, it's still in a bearish trend overall. And it's been bearish really since like 2022, where price has just gone down over the last few years. So I don't know, I don't know what kind of catalyst there's going to be for ETH BTC to actually bounce. We might have to just wait until like Q4 maybe for it to have somewhat of a chance where there's going to be some sort of rally. But again, to be determined if there's actually going to be a trend shift. I don't see a trend shift happening anytime soon, personally. Like, you're already seeing some of these key levels getting broken overall, and like maybe 044 maybe provide some support. But again, if you zoom out, you might actually be looking even lower to this cluster back in this 03, like 04 even level / kind of like this 033 level. Again, there's still a while before those levels, but it's just not great to see price lose the 200 EMA, all these EMAs on the weekly. Like, you haven't seen price trade below that since kind of like mid 2020. So, you know, ETH, as I said, generally performs better in the bull market, but this bull market so far has not been that way whatsoever. But overall, still think that ETH like should do well overall with the ETF, but in the short term, it just doesn't look great. If you're looking at some sort of like buy level, maybe at 2850 around that area would be interesting. This current area is interesting too, as the 200-day EMA is right here, but overall would just kind of be very cautious. Don't really see any true reason to pile in as of right now. But yeah, those are two updates. I will definitely try to do more videos, guys, but thank you so much for the support and have a great day.